is not it. Hell, what you call him was gonna beat him out for the job. Tyrod Taylor was gonna win that job had he not got hurt. And all they're talking about going back. Look, what are you doing? What is?
What's going on, Big Blue Crew? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access. Yes, we're pulling double duty today, and we're going to be talking about Mr. O'Shea Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Famer himself. As you heard in the beginning of the video, the slander of Mr. Daniel Jones. Now, people like to call me a Daniel Jones apologist, blase, but I just call a spade a spade. And this man literally during his segment talking about OBJ wanted to come back to the New York Giants. They had some things to say about that. We're going to get into that. But this man said Tyrod Taylor was going to beat out Daniel Jones for the #1 quarterback on the New York Giants. But instead of listening to me say it, I'm going to let you hear it from Shannon Sharpe's mouth. And we're going to get into this segment on Undisputed. Shout out to Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. But I just want you guys to hear some of the things that come out of people's mouths that are absolutely ludicrous. But let's get into it. All right, got it pulled up. Let's go into it.
Odell Beckham Jr. is getting the Big Blue faithful fan base going after commenting to a fan suggesting he returns to the Giants. Yeah, he's still a free agent. OBJ responded, quote, "We'll see," while expressing his desire wanting to win a Super Bowl with his former team.
All right, now, OBJ, look, I'm not saying that he's the guy in the beginning that was searching for attention and everything, but come on, man. What reason would OBJ have to come here in the first place? He's already won. Only reason why he would come here is because he can market himself again as one of the biggest attractions, period. Sports worldwide. He was one of the biggest attractions, period, worldwide when he was here. But other than that, why would he want to come back to the Giants? I don't understand that. And you Giants fans are going to have to get over it, man. OBJ is gone. He's not coming back. Not in my eyes in the foreseeable future, and he's gone. We had OBJ when he was here. He was great. Now that he's gone, we need to let him go. We're not getting that old thing back. Just telling you the truth.
Shannon, what is going on here?
Good. I think Odell is just being positive, showing love. Probably this is the maturity of Odell Beckham. Maybe in years past, Odell was like, man, forget them. They had their opportunity at OBJ, and they blew that. I think this is a new.
Yeah, and people need to put that out there. OBJ has extremely matured since he's left the New York Giants. And I was just thinking he was just doing us a solid, not saying, man, kiss grits. Just to be honest with you.
Phase of his life and where he is in his life. Why the hell would he ever think about going back to the Giants?
That's exactly what I just said.
And play with Daniel Jones? After you just had a taste, you just won the Super Bowl. You finally got a quarterback that can get you the ball, hit you right in stride. You never break stride with a pass. And you're willing to go back to Daniel Jones to the Giants and lose when this is really the only time that you've ever won? Man, look, I get it. OBJ, Skip, you want to keep that thing positive. You're on social media. Hey, you know, I would love to win that time of Super Bowl. I miss my big blue brothers, yada, yada, yada. I get all that. But ain't no way in hell Odell going back to the Giants. To do what? Man, do you know how, Skip, coming off an injury? If I'm coming off an injury, Skip, I understand where I am in my progression. I just want to come back into a great situation where I get a chance to win. I get a chance to compete. Boy, there's nothing worse than losing and being injured or coming off an injury. And I got nothing to look forward to. Daniel Jones is not it. Hell, what you call him was going to beat him out for the job. Tyrod Taylor was going to win that job had he not got hurt.
So I let Shannon Sharpe go into his little spiel right there. And there's a couple of things he said right in that spiel right there. Why would OBJ want to come back to the Giants after winning a Super Bowl if he still has Super Bowl aspirations to win another one, which he's stated that repeatedly that he wants to win another championship. He wants to be great. He wants to be one of the greatest. So coming to the Giants is not a really good situation to come to the Giants as of right now. We're still working on ourselves. We're still trying to figure out who needs to be here in order to win. And I just don't think that we're a winning team as far as trying to get to the goal that OBJ has reached with the Rams. And that's the Super Bowl. I'm a positive Giants fan, but I do keep it real. We're nowhere near competing for a Super Bowl. And we're pretty far away from competing for a playoff spot in my eyes, considering the roster that we have. Now, we can surprise some people. We can. We definitely have a shot to surprise some people. But I'm just looking for progression with this team this year with the new regime with Brian Daboll. But let's go over some of the things that I feel that he said out of context. First of all, Matthew Stafford was not the first quarterback that could get OBJ the ball. OBJ had his best statistical seasons with the New York Giants with the man Eli Manning, who has one more ring than Matthew Stafford. Is Matthew Stafford probably a better talented arm than Eli Manning? Yes. But Eli Manning never had the weapons around him that he had over there with the Rams. Let's be honest with you. Be honest with it. And OBJ had his best statistical seasons with Eli Manning. Bash Eli Manning all you want. Eli Manning was getting the ball. Guess what? In the Super Bowl, he was comparing Matthew Stafford to Eli Manning. If you remember, he was like, yeah, Eli used to get it to me. And, you know, they was playing, but there's always truth in jokes. Eli Manning was the first quarterback that got OBJ the ball in stride and let him make plays and let him become the superstar that he became. So that's false, Mr. Sharpe. That's false. And secondly, are you serious? You really saying that Tyrod Taylor was going to beat out Daniel Jones for the #1 quarterback spot with the New York Giants the way that he was playing? What are you doing? What are you doing? That is absolutely ludicrous. That man, Tyrod Taylor, let's be honest, looked trash in the preseason. If you flip the script and let Daniel Jones play the way Tyrod Taylor played in his preseason, they would absolutely be killing Daniel Jones right now. You're killing him, and he played good in the preseason. He played good in the preseason. The offense looked correct. The offense moved the ball. Only time the offense sputtered is when they did something wrong. When Bellinger let it tip off his hands, or when Kenny Galladay didn't catch the ball on the goal line. Other than that, the offense looked very good. Tyrod Taylor was like a turnover waiting to happen when he got in there. The offense always sputtered. They had one good drive when he got it to Richie James. And he made one play to Daniel Bellinger and got toe up for it. The offense looked crazy. The offensive line looked crazy when he was in there. Why is he better? Because he can spin out of a tackle one play and get a 10-yard gain? Then what? What was he doing? He was throwing lollipop throws, missing receivers, throwing the ball short, hanging receivers out to dry, throwing the ball in the dirt. And you mean to tell me that's better than Daniel Jones? Giants fans, let's be real. If they said Tyrod Taylor was the starter going into the season, you mean to tell me you would feel good about that? You mean to tell me you will feel good about that? Tyrod Taylor, if he didn't have the contract that he had, I promise you, Davis Webb would be over him on the depth chart. Davis Webb played so good that we might have 3 quarterbacks on the roster now because of the way Davis Webb played. Now, I'll be honest with you. If Daniel Jones get hurt and Tyrod Taylor came and played the way that he played, Tyrod Taylor would be on the bench after 1 or 2 games. Call it what you like. I'm going to talk my talk no matter what you thought. And this is New York Giants Full Access. And I'm telling you, if that man came in the regular season, if Daniel Jones got hurt and Davis Webb was on his team and he played a game or two the way he played in the preseason, Davis Webb would be starting immediately. Immediately. And let's get to the reason why Shannon Sharpe can say this. It's because you say it, Giants fans. You say these outlandish things. Oh, Tyrod Taylor's better. Tyrod Taylor's better. How? I showed you the thing on Twitter the other day where somebody said Daniel Jones couldn't even beat the New York Jets and he didn't even play a snap. But you found a way to bash Daniel Jones. How? He didn't even play. Talked to a guy on Facebook the other day. Made a post under my made a comment underneath my post. Oh well, the backup quarterbacks could have played better than Daniel Jones last year. Did you not see Glennon and Fromm? We went from a bad offense to an offense that had to do quarterback sneaks on 2nd and 3rd down. But this is the reason why people can get away with saying things like that, because they know that our fan base is going to agree with them. You sure are right, O'Shea. Yep, Shannon. Tyrod Taylor would have won the starting quarterback job if he didn't get hurt. He sure would have. How? Please tell me how Tyrod Taylor was going to beat out Daniel Jones in any type of fashion. And I'm going to tell you the reason why we're on a downslide like we are right now, because we got away from who we are. You guys wanted the guy that's on that screen smiling. You let him, the Giants let him do anything that he wanted to do. And he took advantage of that. Think of all the teams who had the superstar receivers. How many of those teams have won the Super Bowl? How many Super Bowls did Antonio Brown win when he was the focal point of the Pittsburgh Steelers? How many Super Bowls did they win? You know when Pittsburgh won the Super Bowl? When they had Santonio Holmes that was pretty good. And when they had Hines Ward, who was pretty good. I think a Hall of Famer, underrated receiver. But those guys, they weren't all in the spotlight and things like that. And that's not bashing guys like Odell Beckham. But it's just true. Oh, everybody want these superpowered superstars on their team because they can brag about, yeah, we got the best receiver in the league on our team, but we ain't winning nothing. How many Super Bowls did Atlanta win when they had Julio Jones and Roddy White? They made it to the Super Bowl, but guess what? They lost to the Patriots. They should have won that Super Bowl, but who was the receivers on that Patriots team? How many Super Bowls did Randy Moss win? And Randy Moss is the second greatest receiver of all time. Yeah, he made it to the Super Bowl with the Patriots, and he made one with the 49ers. He wasn't a factor in that one, but the one he was a factor in, guess what? We beat him. How many Super Bowls T.O. win? He made it to the Super Bowl. Guess what? Eagles couldn't get it done when he got there. Third best receiver of all time. But I'll tell you, a bunch of guys who did get one that weren't just the all-star of all-star receivers. Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt got one. Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne got one. Wes Welker Julian Edelman. We don't win when we have guys like that. The closest thing we won a Super Bowl with a guy like that was Victor Cruz, but he was controlled. The regime after the Victor Cruz era, they stripped Coughlin of what he did. And they allowed this man to do whatever he wanted to do. Because you were excited that we finally had that player that we can just brag about to the whole league. Ooh, we got OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., best receiver in the league, and ain't won nothing. And the time we could have won something when we went to the playoffs, he didn't show up. And I love Odell Beckham to death, but we didn't win anything with him. And when it was time to win with him, he didn't show up. That's just fact. It's no fabrication. There's no hate. That's just fact. And Shannon Sharpe is absolutely right. He shouldn't want to come back. Why would he want to come back to the Giants if he wants to be a winner? As of right now, we're not winners. That's absolutely correct. But that other stuff that you're saying is absolutely ludicrous. He finally got somebody that could throw in the ball. Eli Manning didn't exist, sir? Ooh, why would you want to play with Daniel Jones? Ooh, Tyrod Taylor would have beat him out. Come on, bro. Daniel Jones is not the greatest, but God, dog. Really? But this is the result of Giants fans always being negative, is saying the craziest, most outlandish things. It allows analysts to say anything they want about this team, and it has merit. But it stops here with Big Pat Sports Talk and New York Giants Full Access. That right there is absolutely asinine. There's no way possible you can think that Tyrod Taylor was going to beat out Daniel Jones for the #1 quarterback spot. What you should have been saying is Tyrod Taylor should be looking out for Davis Webb to take the #2 quarterback spot. That's what you should have been saying. But I digress. But I'm tired of hearing things like that. Like, that is absolutely crazy. Say some real stuff. Don't just make up things to bash this team because you want to bash this team, because it allows guys like Shannon Sharpe and them to say whatever they want to say about this team, and you guys just give it merit. Yeah, that is right, man. Tyrod Taylor would have beat out Daniel Jones. Like, how, bro? Like, how? Crazy. But that was my take on Mr. Shannon O'Shea Sharpe about the Odell Beckham comeback to the Giants. Giants fans, get off of that. He's not coming back. We're not getting that old thing back. We're not getting Mr. Excitement back. We're not getting Mr. Braggadocious back, that we can brag about having the best receiver in the league. Oh my God, those were the best times, but we weren't winning a damn thing. We're a team. We lay low. We work hard. And we're the team that people fear when we finally get into the playoffs, because we bring home Lombardis. We've always been a team that you do not want to play when it comes to playoff season, because we always make it far. Rarely ever do we get beat the very first game in the playoffs or the second game. We usually make it to like an NFC championship, or we bring that baby home. I'll continue to say this. We're the only team that bring home a Super Bowl every decade since the 80s. We got one in the 80s, we got one in the 90s, we got one in the 2000s, and we got one in the 2010s. Now it's time to work on getting one in the 2020s to keep that streak going. And it only can happen with positivity, not crap like this. What damn quarterback controversy is there in New York with Tyrod Taylor was playing like that? Man, let me get off this, man, because I could go on forever. Man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment, let me know what you think about Shannon Sharpe's comments about Daniel Jones and Odell Beckham coming back to the New York Giants. I agree with some of the things he's saying, but some of the things he's saying was just outlandish. He finally got a quarterback that could get him the ball. Like Eli Manning didn't play for the New York Giants. Like Eli Manning didn't have him at the best start of any receiver in his career. Like Eli Manning didn't let him have the best rookie receiver statistically when Odell Beckham was a rookie. And then you'll sit there and say Tyrod Taylor was going to beat out Dan. How? How? Get real. Man, like I said, this is New York Giants full access, and this is Big Pat Sports Talk, giving you full access of the New York Giants. Tune in, episodes daily, maybe 1 or 2. Today was 2. But till the next episode, stop with the negativity, and let's get some positive vibes in New York, New Jersey area, whatever you want to say. And let's hope this team shows great progress and maybe win us a couple of games and get to our marker in the Big Blue Crew. Shout out to Blue getting to 1,000 subscribers, 11-6. But until the next episode, you know what it is, man. Peace.
This has been a Big Blue Crew production.